Welcome to 5-Minute Pitch. I'm your host, Liz Saunders. 5-Minute Pitch is the competition that gives entrepreneurs from around the globe the opportunity to virtually pitch their business or product idea for the chance to win a grand prize of $50,000. This season, more than 30 entrepreneurs will pitch their ideas via Zoom conference call to our panel of 5 experts for the chance to advance to the finals and pitch to the judges live in Miami, Florida. Our panel of expert judges includes Greg Mercer, Steve Chu, Mike Jackness, and Scott Foker, all 7- and 8-figure e-commerce sellers who have run and sold multiple successful businesses. Today we are joined by guest judge Pat Flynn. Pat is a well-respected thought leader in the areas of online entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and lifestyle businesses. Today, Jon returns to pitch his handmade soaps for a second time to try and secure a spot at the live finals in Miami. Good luck, Jon. This is 5-Minute Pitch.
Hey, Jon, welcome back. Your pitch starts now.
Okay, everyone. So excited to talk about these handmade soaps and about my business and about my vision for the future. I'm a firefighter. I'm a paramedic. I work 24-hour shifts. I'm off for 48 hours, and I'm back for another 24. Now, that's a full-time schedule for a fireman. It translates to about 9 days a month, and we have a lot of free time. So within the culture of the fire department, most of us have either side jobs, hobbies, just something to get into, maybe to relieve some of the stress or just something adventurous. So I'm kind of an amateur chemist. I like, inventing things and playing with some chemicals and stuff like that. So one day I was curious. I had a handmade soap bar somebody had bought for me, and I tried it and I liked it. And I thought, well, you know what? I wonder if I could make this. So that's what I did. I looked up a recipe online. I, got some oils and fats. And that's one of the things I thought was so cool. You could take, things like olive oil and coconut oil, sodium hydroxide, mix it together, and you've got a bar of soap. It goes through a process called saponification, and it's just really neat. So I did that. Some of my family members tried it after I made the soap. They liked it. And so I said, you know what, I'll make some more. So I made some more. I tried essential oils and different techniques. There's a cold process and a hot process to make it. And people just really started liking it. So what I did is I started taking it to booths, trade shows, art places, and I started, setting up a table and selling it there. So here recently, what I've been doing is I started with Etsy, just pushing it because they're kind of catered towards the handmade artisans. And I really started pushing it in the last 6 to 8 weeks. And I've got a lot of momentum there. I was really surprised.
Initially launching to little success, a few customers told Jon they wanted to know more about him and his story. So he then told his story, posted some behind-the-scenes photos, and some family pictures on his site. From that point on, sales began to increase rapidly and are steadily rising.
There's 3 really main soaps that people like. I would say my top sellers are. I want to talk about them just for a second. So lavender would be one. I grow my own lavender plants and I make my own essential oil out of that lavender. And I really put a lot of time and attention to the colors and the packaging of the lavender. Tea tree, that's my personal favorite. Now, it's not for everyone. It's got a strong scent, but it's got great skin benefits. To me, it just smells really great. So that's always been a top seller. And then a third, and it's more of a local top seller, but it's a bar called the Man Bar. Now, my firefighter buddies, they really love this more than anyone. It's really a down and dirty, gritty cleansing soap. I put coffee grounds in there. I put activated charcoal in there. It's just kind of its natural color. It's got some swirls and blotches in there. And it just looks really rustic. I'm actually out of them right now. And I haven't launched them online really because since it's such a good seller here locally, when I launch it, I want to have a build up to it. And I want it to be a different packaging than the rest of my soaps, because a lot of the guys come up to me like, hey man, we need some more of those Man Bars. We're out of them. It's just a different identity of a soap. So I thought about something like a camouflage package or a pirate package. And my favorite would be something like maybe some fire axes and a fire helmet. And what this would be like is, certified by firemen, used by firemen. So this is my Etsy store here. And you'll see right at the top of the page here, I've got 125 sales. Now, this is just the past, 6, 7, 8 weeks that I've got these sales. The important number I really like down here is this 56 5-star reviews. So people are really loving these. These are my featured soaps I've got up here. sample packs here, average price about $5. My tea tree. And of course, this is very popular here because these are bars that I cut in half and then just sell so that people can sample them. This is not the actual man bar. What this is the closest to that I can show you, because like I said, I'm actually out of this. I can't keep it in stock locally. But basically, you can see right here this activated charcoal, and you can see the coffee grounds. It's got the natural color, very rustic. So this is a dirty hippie soap is what it's called, and it sells pretty well too. Those are my top 3 selling soaps, and that's my Etsy store. And like I said, it's really doing good. So what I want to do is transition that Etsy store, that style, into my website and really start pushing it. This contest is a perfect timing for me. I think I'm in the right phase of my business for this contest to really help me. If I could win this, the first thing I would do is inventory. I need to build up a large supply of inventory.
So far, Jon is having trouble keeping up with demand, so he would use a portion of the prize money to build up his inventory in order to do marketing and help scale up his business. He would use part of the prize money to invest in new and better equipment in order to increase productivity, and he wants to create a subscription service where loyal customers can have their orders repeat automatically.
One of the things that I try to do with my business is I try to cater to a couple of niches. Now, obviously, handmade soaps on its own is its own niche. But within that, you have people that sometimes will do cupcake soaps and decorative and candy soaps and sprinkles. And there's such a wide variety. What my business focuses on is really rustic, natural, and then also soaps for men. Nobody caters to men when it comes to these soaps. In fact, I was doing some research for what keywords I could rank for on a program called Longtail Pro. And one of the things that comes up that I actually rank good for on my website is soap for men or men's soap. So that's what I want to kind of focus on with a man bar. And I think that's something that I could rank for and market for and do very well once I launch that, as well as the other soaps that I have there. So I've made some investments in this business. Recently, I got a cabin storage shed kind of. It's real popular. People turn into tiny homes. And basically what that's for is that when I win this contest and I build up the inventory, I've already got the space to put it in there. I have my office in there. I have all my soaps curing in there, ready to package and ship, label, and everything. So really, I just need to build up that inventory, get this equipment, and we can really get this company going. So appreciate you guys' time, and I'll open it for questions.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks
Great
very much,
timing.
Jon.
We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Well, hey there, what's up? It's Scott Volker from the Amazing Seller Podcast. Do you need high-quality professional graphic design work done for a new or existing product? Well, if you do, you're in luck because Outline-Matic is a top-rated US-based graphic design company. They do logo design, package design, inserts, EBC, and so much more. And they do it all with unlimited revisions. They've helped over 2,000 businesses to date, and they want to help yours next. So all you have to do is head over to OutlineMatic.com for your free consultation. OutlineMatic.com.
Jon gave a great semifinals pitch for his business. Let's see what questions the judges have for him.
For your locally sold soaps, how are those being sold locally? Are they in stores or kind of, tell me about that.
There's a art place. I live in Alabama, so in Huntsville, there's a little art place where I sell a lot of soaps there. And that's where I get most of my feedback.
So Etsy is kind of where you're headed now, and then next step would be your website and the subscription-based model, perhaps, if you can get that.
Yes.
Can you tell me, how passionate are you about soaps?
Oh, wow. I mean, the soaps in general was just a hobby. So it was fun. And what made it more fun was that other people liked them. So I've had soaps that I've discontinued. And then, months later, somebody's like, hey, I need some more of those, so I have to go back and make them again. So I was passionate about just doing the chemistry of it and just creating something and having fun. And then my passion turned into just pleasing other people with these soaps.
The one feedback that you did definitely add into today's presentation, which I like, and Michael Stelzner had mentioned the man soap, the man bar. And I do think that there's a huge play there. I really like that. How much have you been thinking about that since we last talked?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a re-excitement because honestly, when I come out with the man bar, it was marketed to firemen because I have a couple of guys there. One of them specifically, he was a mechanic, now he's a fireman. So he asked for soap specifically that he can, get in his nails real good and just, clean his hands very well. And so I more or less made it for those guys that were asking about that. And the more exfoliant I put in there, like coffee grounds, the more they asked for it. And really, I've just procrastinated on putting it online because I wanted to perfect it. It's kind of a re-excitement when you guys got excited about it yesterday, because the only guys that have, give me most of the feedback are the ones I sell to at the fire department and then at the booths.
Now, one of the things that we talked about, we were debating, this is one of these hard questions. We were debating
Sure.
as we were narrowing down for the semifinals. Convince us that we're not investing in something here. We're not, or gifting this to the winnings to a company that's too early, because you're just at the infancy, and maybe we would want to see just a little bit more traction and proof of concept. Convince us that we're not too early.
I think I'm in the perfect phase right now. And honestly, it's because I've tested the MVP. So I've tested locally. So I got the feedback. I made adjustments with the recipes.
John feels that his business is not too young for the $50,000 prize because he's perfected his recipes, improved his packaging, improved his product marketing photos, and invested in a small cabin for soap production. He also feels that with proper marketing, his business would blow up.
John, you talked a little bit in the presentation about people coming back for more. What is your specific plan to increase repeat business?
Well, the subscription model is one thing that I thought about, but there's a lot there that I need to discover as far as, whether it's customer loyalty or, the repeat business. I'm very personal with my Etsy customers. There's some of them that write me. Some of them will have special requests. If you look at my reviews, they're all 5 stars. I've had one person, and it was in an earlier time, that she had wrote me, and I had forgot something in the package. And so she had complained about it. So I wrote her back and I told her, sorry, don't worry about it. I will keep the soaps. I'm going to send you a whole new package, and, and make sure that doesn't happen again. But anyway, the point is she become like one of my best customers now. So she contacts me, hey, what have you got this month? So when I have something new, she always orders it. So I definitely have a loyalty base there that I want to cater to. Like I said, subscriptions would be one way there, but the options are open for what else I can do.
John, do you have a social media presence with this business?
Yes, Facebook is what I know the best, and I try to keep up with that. I know one thing I've heard from listening to your guys, like podcasts and everything and blogs. It doesn't matter if you post every day or 5 times a day, but just be consistent. So I'm trying to be consistent with my Facebook, and then Instagram was the next thing I've learned. I don't know as much about it as Facebook, but I am on there and I consistently post there, and people like that.
When you say you are on social media, do you mean you specifically as well? Like your face is showing up?
I will say in the beginning, I didn't think anybody wanted to buy soaps from a firefighter. This is sort of a new concept. The Etsy store in the past 6 to 8 weeks is what's given me that confidence, giving me that boost, that boost that it's okay to put my face on there.
I think there's a huge advantage to having you on there.
Yeah.
Like you're not the typical soap person. I gravitate toward you and your personality. Like that makes me want to support you. And I imagine this is what's likely happening on Etsy now and on social. I mean, that could blow up. Like I could see him on Ellen, because of, what I mean? Like cool. That's not something that comes easily with business, is to have like a unique angle like that.
With all that being said, now I'm getting kind of excited about the soap business. I want to start a soap business. I'm going to find the best recipe on Google, order a bunch of ingredients off Amazon, mix them up. I'm going to create an Etsy store this weekend. Why would anyone buy your product over mine?
Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of soapers out there. A lot of them do it great. A lot of them do it well. So what I've tried to do, if there's 50 different niches within the handmade soap niche in itself, then I want to narrow it down to about 3. So what I focus on is rustic. I have just rustic, natural soaps. I don't put a lot of chemicals, nothing like that there, no unnatural colors. Actually, I use spices, kitchen spices, coffee grounds I've mentioned and stuff like that. So I try to focus on that right there. And then the other niche there is for men. I've done so much research, whether it's for looking for recipes and how websites do it, and there's not a lot of guys that do this. Beyond that, just to mention also, it's about, I think for me, it's about putting that passion that I have for these handmade soaps and what I put into these ingredients to make sure that it's good for you, and then putting that on my product detail. I think that's very important.
I want to say just a thought, and just to give you something to think about, and you probably already started to think that the name of the brand and you isn't as good as if you were to rebrand it and you be the rustic soap guy for men. And I would throw in my firefighter. I would throw in that whole angle. I told you that, when we talked last, that's where I see this. I see rugged. You want that to cater, not necessarily flowers and delicate, like rustic, or like,
right.
You know what I mean, gritty, right. But yet you're the guy, and you're like supporting like the guys that, hey, we need soap, like, what does a guy want in soap, I think that angle is, but it's hard because you've kind of already, I think you're still early enough that you could rebrand, or you could.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the brand mark doesn't represent you.
No.
It's very finesse and very pretty.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what you're going for in the beginning, but I think Scott's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see just bold and.
Jon has been wanting to rebrand his website for a while in order to focus his branding on the rustic theme, but isn't sure if it's early enough to make the change or if it would impact his website traffic.
I think you're
You
early.
don't really have much traffic right now, right?
Yeah.
You can change the name of your Etsy store, and people would, and then send out a message to let everybody know that you decided to go ahead and change your name.
How tall are you, Jon?
Absolutely.
How tall are
5'8".
you? I mean, just the fact that a man's creating this for men, I mean, that's so unique.
Yeah.
I think it needs to
Yeah.
come out in the branding.
There's this weird phenomenon also where women want to buy from men. So
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine sells women's clothing, and it's the guy that makes all the sales live on Facebook Live. And when his wife tries to sell it, it's not as effective, mainly because he compliments them on their clothing, and they're just much more inclined. I see some similar phenomenon here with maybe the women wanting to buy from a man.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously 8 contestants were lucky enough to get to this point, 7 other amazing contestants besides yourself, but only 4 can move on to the final round. So why should you be sent to the final round over the other amazing contestants?
I think it's the phase, just to start off with. There's some of these businesses you might talk to that have been doing this for years. Maybe they have teams. Maybe they're too far along. Maybe they're already making enough money, and that $50,000 wouldn't do them. It's not that it wouldn't do them any good, but they don't really need it, and that's no fun. I'm sure some of those businesses of the other 7 are money makers, but is it fun? I think you guys really want to back somebody that's going to come out with something new, something that's unique, something that you guys want to get behind right from the beginning, and we can network from the future on. That's what I see us doing in the future. And really, it's about my passion. It's about my vision for this. This business for me is something that I decided when I started it, that this will work. It's not a matter of if, it will. It's a matter of when and how much, but I know this will work. So no matter what obstacles I face, no matter what setbacks I have, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make this work. So that $50,000 is just going to make it that much faster.
Awesome. Love it, man.
Great job.
Congrats on making it
Thanks,
this
Jon.
far, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Jon.
Congrats, Jon.
Thank you, Jon.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome
Enjoy
job,
it.
man.
Bye.
The judges gave Jon some great feedback for his business. Let's see if he has what it takes to advance to the next round.
I like him. I like his angle. I think it's very unique. Where I was going with the how tall are you question, just so you know, because it seems kind of weird.
Yeah, that was,
like,
I don't know
if he was a big guy,
Okay.
potential marketing play would be like, look at all the surface area I have to clean. Like, I'm an expert. So, but I'm 5'8".
Well, he could play it that he shaved his head and he's bald, so he's got a little bit, more.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's
Skin.
where I was going with that.
Okay. He looks like a pretty big guy. I mean,
I think my concern is that he's going to have to pivot now, like right away. Like we almost created the business plan for him.
This is his current business, guys. Let's not forget this.
Yeah.
Shea Butter.
This is his business
Shea,
right
I can't remember the brand name. That's the problem.
Yeah, like
Shea,
almost
Shea
like,
Garden.
I got to be honest
look.
with you. Like when I see this and I see him, that ruins it for me.
I
I want rugged. I want this to be in like a sack.
But who's buying right now? Is it men?
Like, again, it is. But how is he going to grow in
We
this,
don't know if men are
in
buying
this
right now.
space?
They're all of his sales are through Etsy.
And I'm going to say that women are all. I'm going to say those 125 sales, most of them are women. Probably 90%. I'm just going to guess.
Right.
I agree.
So my thing is if he's going to blow this brand up, which is very competitive, right? Very, very saturated.
Companies like this are a dime a dozen. There's
How is he going to
10,000
do
these
it?
on Etsy right now.
The Man Bar, the Man Grit, the Soap
Do
for
they all
Men.
have the same reviews?
That isn't going to do it. He can add this to
Yeah.
it, but I think the first angle is
Tons of them with.
Well, and he mentioned
hundreds
what he
of
was going to do
thousands
with
of
the
reviews.
50K, which was buy more inventory. And if this is the inventory, then it's probably not going to work.
And that's the thing. Now, will that change? Right now, I'm going to guess it will.
I hope it does.
I think it will.
I got to give the dude credit. He's sharp.
maybe you had influenced me too, because when I looked at the sales, 125 sales in the last 6 to 8 weeks. Sure, he just started, but it's a saturated market. I think I was clouded like you, Jackness, by his manliness. Perhaps may have influenced me one way. But now that I've got
dogging
a
on him
clearer
yesterday.
head now, so I just think things have changed, and we don't know anything, right? We just suggested the man bar or whatever. We don't have any data, and then he pivoted, right?
No, I think that sometimes you're buying the entrepreneur, investing in the entrepreneur, whatever it is. I mean, the guy seems like he has a great business acumen. I mean, as far as like the drive, the tenacity. If you're crazy enough to be able to run into a burning building, you're probably going to be able to figure out some of the business challenges. I mean, I love the fact that he figured out how to make soap and like has improved upon it. There's iterations of making it better. He took some of the advice that we said yesterday. I realize maybe that might have you a little bit jittered, but like he's still finding his way a little bit. That's why I asked the question off the bat about, is this too early? And we already know coming into this that it's early. So I mean, if we were to put him through the next round, it would be because of him.
Well, it's of him. And did he take criticism or advice? And did he adjust? And if he did, where would he be now in 12 months with a $50,000 aid to help him do that? Yeah. That's what I'm asking myself.
Let me ask you guys all this question, all right? If you just take a blank bar of soap and you need to be successful in this highly competitive market, what are the key attributes that individual would need in order to be successful selling a bar of soap? There's no packaging on it yet.
The marketing part, right? I mean, the story.
Well, the relationship you have with the...
Yeah.
That's why when you had presented your question, which I love, you're like, okay, I'm into soap now, I'm going to do the same thing you do. He started listing off his ingredients, which anybody could do, like you said.
Pretty easy to make soap. There's 10,000 recipes on the internet.
It was his final answer in that 3-answer sequence, which was, I have the passion for this. And I was hoping he would get into you know what, I'm a firefighter. I'm putting my effort into firefighting, into soap. You're not a firefighter, Greg.
Right.
I got you.
So I think you guys have the same answer, the marketing and the branding.
Yeah.
Now, does firefighter Jon have the marketing acumen to make this business successful?
As of today, no.
Tough. I don't know.
Does he have enough to actually figure that out? Yeah. Is he someone that maybe you give that advice, you say come back in season 2?
I didn't like his recurring revenue model answer. I thought, because we brought it up the other day, and I was thinking he might have had a plan to kind of facilitate that. But
I think that's too far along. That's why I'm not even worried about the recurring. I think the recurring would happen easily if you got the front part right, which is the branding, the packaging, the image. You know, that I think all that other stuff would happen. I think the recurring on this, you could come up with 100 different ways to make that recurring.
And he has repeat customers already through Etsy.
I think the advice that we had given him is he's going to take it and run with it regardless if he wins this or if he gets put through to the next round. It's tough for me though, because from everybody else that we've been listening to and hearing, is he the strongest? Is he the one that would be able to capitalize the most in 12 months?
So the big question is, do we award him the $50,000 or put him through to the next round to take this new idea that he just got, or do we hopefully go with what's proven already for him and kind of just hope for the best?
No, if I'm betting on the business model that's going right now with what he has, I'd say no. If it's the new model, then I would not say yes, but I would be more inclined to say yes.
Guess we'll see what happens.
I guess so.
Yep.
Great pitch, Jon. Stay tuned to see if he will advance to the finals in the second deliberation round. Next time on 5-Minute Pitch, the judges deliberate the semifinal pitches to see who will move on to the finals in Miami.